Okay, good evening and welcome to our public hearing on our safety plan, followed by our regularly scheduled board meeting. If we could all please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. I'm going to mute myself on the YouTube channel. Back to our meeting. All right, so thank you everybody for being here tonight. I appreciate it. And as guinea pigs here, most school districts are doing their first in-person board meeting for the reorganizational meeting in July. So I said we were going to try it tonight, see how it goes, and report things back. So far so good. We're all right. Thanks for the students for being here tonight. One of the things that we do a few times of the year is we have hearings that take place for several things. One of them happens to be the budget, which we've already done. Another one happens to be the school safety plan, which is this evening. So I want to thank our safety committee, a lot of people involved in the safety committee, for going through our school safety plans and making sure that we were up to date and current and all of that. And I don't have much to report. I don't have a big presentation for you because the only changes that were made to the safety plan from last year going into next year for right now, just changes in names. We've had some changes in like fire chiefs and things like that. We made some changes there, and then as soon as the Department of Health and the Genesee Valley BOCES work with us and come together, we have to add a pandemic section to our safety plan. But we obviously aren't far enough down the road yet to be able to know exactly what to put into that pandemic section of the school safety plan. But once we do, we'll add that, and I'll probably come back to you, probably not in a hearing, but if I come back to you in a regular presentation format and just let you know what that pandemic piece will look like, and then we'll amend the safety plan to incorporate the pandemic piece. I have no idea, to be determined when that'll happen, but that's the only thing that we're missing in the school safety plan. Okay, so any questions on that? Okay. I apologize. I've got to keep remembering. I'm the one admitting everybody into the meeting here too. So, okay. So with that, then the hearing is ended on the public and the safety plan, and I'll turn it over to President Brown to open up our board meeting.
Thank you. I'm going to call the meeting to order. Already done the pledge. I'm going to ask if there is any one from the public that would like to speak. If you could raise your hand if there is a public person out there that would like to speak. And if not, we're gonna move on. That brings us to the acceptance of the approval of the agenda. That's with addendum H15A. Does everybody have that? For the school calendar. Can I have a motion on that? That was Jeff and Stu. Now, are there any questions on that? All right, all those in favor? Aye. Opposed? That motion is carried. That brings us to the acceptance of the minutes from the May 11th and May 14th meeting, the regular meeting May 11th and the special meeting the 14th. Are there any questions on those? If not, those will stand as submitted. That brings us to the acceptance of the treasurer's report. Are there any questions on that? If not, that will stand as submitted. That brings us to our celebration of students. And I believe Ms. Taft is going to introduce the top 10 to us.
Yeah, we're very, very proud of our top 10, and Ms. Taft has assembled as many of them as she can. So Ms. Taft, why don't you go ahead and take it from here?
All right, so we have our top 10 who I'm just going to let you know who they are. If I say your name, wave at them so they know as I say it. Our class valedictorian is Maya Cushman. There's Maya. Our salutatorian is Robbie Abel. And then our next top 10 are Ashley Parsons, Jacob Nemitz, I think they're on, Emily Lehman, Molly Minio, Daniel Vaughn is working probably tonight. He told me Liam Prendergast. He's there in the yellow. Caleb Boots and Devin Grover is working. So let's start with, they know what they're going to say and what they're going to share with you. I'm really proud of them. What's kind of unique is I'll tell you, like Daniel Vaughn, who's not on here, he's going into the workforce. He's going to be working for the family farm. Caleb Boots, who's not here as well to balance things out, is going to be he's going to lineman school for outdoor electrical work and then on to apprenticeship. And now we'll start with Maya. Why don't you go and share your stuff?
In the fall, I'm going to be attending SUNY Fredonia for trumpet performance and biology. In the future, I'm hoping to become a professional musician playing in orchestras with people from hopefully all over the world, maybe do some traveling, and with the biology, be able to help people using that knowledge. And I think the thing that I'm going to miss the most about Whitman is probably like all of the wonderful memories that I've made coming up throughout the schools because of all the wonderful people that I've met, all the wonderful teachers, and all the wonderful friends I've made. Having the eco program or just fourth grade Mrs. Moses, how there's just a little bit of a difference in each one that makes each moment special. That a lot.
Thanks, Maya. Robbie.
Hello. In the fall, hopefully I'll be attending Dartmouth College. I don't have a major picked out, but I'm looking at film and media studies or environmental science. In the future, I also don't know what I'm going to do, but I was thinking today and I want my scuba license, so I'll keep you updated. And my favorite thing about Whitman was I really liked my friends. Like, and having that group throughout the whole time. So yeah, good friendship, good times.
Thanks, Robbie. Hey, Ashley, you are up. Where'd you go? There you are. Go ahead, Ash.
In the fall, I'm going to Nazareth College and I'm going to major in biology with a pre-med track. And then once I get my undergrad, I want to go into med school to become a neonatologist and then move down south, hopefully. And my favorite thing about Whitman is like the atmosphere. It's super small and like everyone knows each other. People super caring, especially the teachers. Like I've probably like the first 2 weeks freshman year, I ate lunch in the cafeteria. The rest of the time I was like with my friends, with the teachers, and everyone gets along, super like friendly and caring. So yeah.
And Ashley participated in our New Visions therapies. Thanks, Ashley. And our next contestant, Jacob Niebitz, took part in our New Visions medical program. Go ahead, Jacob.
Hello. In the fall, I will be attending the University at Buffalo as a nursing major. In the future, I would like to be a nurse practitioner of infectious disease. And my favorite thing about Whitman is how tight-knit of a community it is. Everybody knows each other and supports each other, which is really great.
Thanks, Jacob. All right, Emily, you're up.
Hello. So after high school in the fall, I'm going to Ithaca College to study music education, and I'll have a concentration in voice in hopes to be a vocal music teacher. And I also want to direct or assistant direct the marching band at the school I work at, and I'm hoping to work with marching bands throughout my college experience too. I don't know if there's marching bands close to Ithaca, but let's hope so. And I don't know if it'll happen during college because I'll be very, very busy as a music major, but I want to participate in a group called Up With People, which is a community service organization that travels around the world, and they go to different communities and do the community service. And then when they're about to leave, like the night before they leave or something, they do a big show choir performance, and I want to do that. So, yeah. Oh, and my favorite thing about Whitman, I don't know if I can put my finger on like a favorite thing, but I'm really, really going to miss basketball games a lot.
All right, thank you, Emily. Next is Molly Minio.
Hi. So in the fall, I am attending St. John Fisher College, and I'm going to be majoring in childhood special education with a concentration in American Studies, and I'll hopefully also get a middle school extension so I can also teach grades 7 through 9. With the hopes of being an elementary school teacher when I get older. So that's very exciting. And one of my favorite things about Whitman is most definitely the community. Like everybody knows everybody, and it's never like awkward to like walk into a basketball game by yourself because like you're always gonna know somebody. And yeah.
All right, thank you, Molly. Liam.
Hi, I'm Liam Prendergast. Next year, I'll be attending Clarkson University to study chemical engineering. And after college, I hope to be a chemical engineer and work somewhere. But my favorite memories of Whitman, obviously, you put your finger on one, but I've always loved playing sports because it allows you to like knit yourself tighter with people you wouldn't normally hang out with because you're all forced to be together on the team.
And that's our top 10 who I get to see every morning with their smiling faces. They don't like it that I'm so loud some mornings, but they always give a smile back, and they all are busy taking care of themselves and self-sufficient. So we're going to miss you guys. I will, especially in the morning, seeing you, but thank you for coming tonight and presenting. Anybody in the board have any questions or anything?
Thanks for sharing. Thank you very much for sharing. And I wish you could all stop back a year or 2 or 4 years from now and tell us how you made out.
All right, thanks you guys. Have a great night, and I'll
Thank
see some of you
you.
tomorrow for
Thanks
speeches.
for having us.
Bye. See you guys.
And we'll see you at your socially distanced in-person on the football field graduation on the 26th.
All right, have a good night, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye. Bye, Maya.
Right, so scholar athletes, just so everybody knows, they decided not to have scholar athlete awards for spring sports, okay? But if they did, any of the top 10 who were playing a sport would have been on the list for that as well. And it's unfortunate, but I get it at the same time.
So.
Yep. We do. We have a retiree. It's my pleasure to be able to say a few words about. I'm still on here though. We're okay. It's my pleasure to be able to say a few comments about Jenny Horn, our librarian. She's here for over 25 years. A phenomenal asset to the district. She was one of the people that actually started the makerspace movement in our buildings. She's also really, really good at being able to figure out what books and resources are best for kids. We've had her responsible for doing the elementary ordering for a lot of years, and she just has a really good way of actually going through the collection, weeding out what doesn't belong, fitting in new stuff. She's kind of a trendsetter, I would say, in that way. And one of the things that I'm most proud of her for, besides her dedication, was her, with all the things that we had going on in the district, she made it a real family decision on whether to retire. But I ended up talking to her and saying she had to make the decision that was right for her family and not necessarily for the district, because she just bleeds our colors. And she came back and she said it was best for her family for her to retire. She has some interest there with her family. So we wish her the best, and she's done a phenomenal job for the district, no question about that.
Thank you. That brings us to administrators' reports. Update us on lots of things.
Yeah, so number one, board members who are here, when you came into the building, you probably had a chance, you walked in somehow and you got a chance to see that we're under full construction, right? And I made comment yesterday, there's at least 30 workers here every day. I have not seen that many workers here in a capital project in a school district in my whole career. And I've put on additions and everything else. They usually try to shift them from job to job. They've had people here just absolutely full bore. We've had some great construction meetings that have been happening. People have been coming on site because they wanted to be here instead of doing things over Zoom. So we've had those meetings socially distanced. Today, we just finalized the graphics that'll go on the wall of the gym. They're going to be done by the same company that does all the graphics for the Buffalo Bills. So we're looking forward to what that's going to look like. And it's interesting. So when we have like sectional banners and things like that, we'll recreate those just on a kind of a vinyl, if you will, template that goes on the walls of the gym. And then as we win more championships or more sectionals, we have the easy ability to be able to add those, which is going to look really nice in the gym as well. Auditorium is coming along very, very well. It's completely cleaned out and gutted right now, and they're already starting the asbestos abatement on that. And yesterday we met about the tennis courts. We went on site yesterday, and the tennis courts are going to look really, really nice when we're done. We've got new fencing going around, new wind screens, all new landscaping around it. We're actually going to add a kind of a pathway. If you've been back to the tennis courts, a pathway that goes to the soccer fields. We're going to kind of add a pathway there with an ending to it, but enough for parents to be able to watch their kids play tennis without having to stand in the wet grass and that kind of thing. The courts themselves will be reworked, resurfaced, and everything. So I'm looking very, very forward to that. That'll be good. That's going to make that whole back of the building look a heck of a lot better, I think. And so really, it's we'll have a facilities meeting here pretty soon, probably, to go over what we're calling phase 4, which would be after the second story addition is done and there's some money left over. What will we do? And right now, it's looking like we'll get the cafeteria done like we thought we were going to. As well as the parking lot will have a major renovation, maybe not as large as we had hoped from the very beginning, but it's going to look like a new parking lot right around to the front of the building, the high school circle and all that too, with striping and paving, sealing and all that kind of stuff. And we'll take care of the handicapped access and everything. So I'm really excited about what's going on right now. And I just can't get over how many workers we have here. I think the important things to remember as community members or board members, that you're going to see a lot of work happening right over the summer, a lot, but that doesn't mean that we're going to be ready to go by the time school starts. There's some lead items that are out there in the gym. One of the lead items are the bleachers. That'll be a lead item for us. And by lead item, I mean, it's going to take a while for them to get here. They've been ordered. It just takes time. And then in the auditorium, the lighting has a long lead time as well. So those will be two things where we're hoping to have the auditorium open by I would say mid-October would be the best case scenario for us for the auditorium. And for the gym, we're hoping for October 1st as well. So we want to be playing basketball and all that in a brand new gym for the fall, hopefully. That's the goal. So as I said to Mr. Lehue, some of the reopening things, if you read some of the documentation about return to play for sports, they under basketball, it says you can have 30% of your fans, 30% of your occupancy. So I told Mr. Lehue he can pick the people that can't come to a brand new gym to watch basketball teams that are doing really, really well. I'll let him have that job. I hope I'm kidding, and I'm hoping we'll be able to pack the gym in the fall. So what's that? Oh yeah, sorry. So that's capital project. Second thing is the budget vote. I'm very disappointed, and I think you should be disappointed too. This community and district we jumped through all the hoops, all the red tape, all the bureaucracy we were supposed to make a vote happen for tomorrow night, and we did it. And I thank Shireen and her team for being able to make it happen in that amount of time. And then the governor announced last night that votes will not be tomorrow; they'll be on the 16th, and it's because there were some schools who used vendors who could not get envelopes to properly mail their ballots in time. And so because of that, I think it's kind of weird how it's going to work. So tomorrow is actually, if you listen to the governor speak, tomorrow is actually, in his mind, the vote day. So what he's doing is our ballot boxes, the ballot box outside has to be removed at 5 p.m. tomorrow. If somebody calls us for an extra ballot at 5:01 tomorrow, we are not to give them any extra ballots after that. But we can only accept people who want to mail them in until June 16th, the following Tuesday at 5 p.m. when we'll open the ballots. So it's not to me, it was not responding correctly to the situation, in my opinion. And our community and other communities who did their jobs are the ones that are gonna kind of not suffer for it, but the ones that have to wait and figure out, you know, what comes next. So, yeah.
So if a community member cannot drop it off at the ballot box tomorrow,
They after 5 o'clock, they cannot.
where would they, so it can only go through the mail?
Only go through the mail. That's it. We can only accept it. We can only accept it with a postage on it.
Is that something we can post on our?
Yeah.
I know we posted something today, but I don't think it said that.
Yeah. Because I just got the information at 4 o'clock today, and then we had this meeting. So I have to. So we're gonna have this meeting. I'll go back down to my office, and I'll either, depending upon the time the meeting is over, I'll either put it out tonight unless I think it's too late for the public, and if it's too late, I'll put it out first thing tomorrow morning. But that's that. So they have to be here on the 16th. They gotta be.
Yeah, so be careful
Yep.
in your wording.
Well, they changed that.
Say
They changed it today.
postmarked by-
Right, they changed that today. It was postmarked yesterday, and today it's here. So they changed that also today. So,
Well, these days,
yeah,
it has to be here by then, because maybe-
right.
because all these people keep coming in every day.
It's about we talked to our local post office. It can be in some cases a 2-week swing to get something postmarked and here on time. So it's just got to be here by Tuesday the 16th. They changed that this morning. They cannot drop.
They want it on the 15th. Oh,
They can't. They cannot. Correct. Doesn't matter. Yeah. It is US. Correct. It's postal service only. So that'll go out tomorrow, depending on how time we get on tonight. If it's after 7 o'clock tonight, it'll go out tomorrow, because I just think it's too late,
So
but
who does it go
yeah.
out to, Chris? Like, if they're not on the computer, how? do
They
people-
won't
yeah,
know.
so, we'll know because some of the local newspapers are actually putting it out on behalf of all the districts.
Good.
Whitman specific, it'll be on our social media, it'll be on the robocall. One of the things that we're trying to do is working with our senior population and trying to figure out a better way to come up with a list of people who want to know things, because we can easily add them to our robocall list, but we want to figure out the best way to do that. So there's some events we've been talking about, some events that we will hopefully have in the fall, where we can start to collect information from people who are here, and they can help get the word out. If they want to get information from us, here's, give us your name and number, and we'll add you to the robocall list. And that's something that we're working on for the future. So it's
Right now, it's just, if you have a student here.
right. Yep. So the response, yeah, Shireen is still counting ballots right now, but it's well over anything we've ever received in a school vote. And I don't know what to tell you about that. I don't know if that's good or bad, but right. So yeah. So it's been I'm not going to say double. Well, it's probably as close to double what we normally get, I would say. Already. Yeah. I know, 400, whatever it was, duplicates. Yeah. Yeah. I think we got lucky in some respects that they corrected the error quickly, and we got them so everything got out. And the other thing too is I think it's difficult with the Board of Elections and the citizen. We're usually looked at to be the bridge for people for everything. And in this particular case, we can't be that bridge. So if somebody's passed away and a ballot went to their house unexpectedly, or, because of how they were registered, we can't call the Board of Elections and say, hey, this person is deceased, can you take them off the list? Someone from the family has to present a death certificate to the Board of Elections as an example, and that's what makes it kind of tough, I think. And I would have to think, just personally speaking, after the primaries, the school budget votes, then the general election, if they're all going to be done either totally or partially by absentee ballot, that there's going to be some kind of reform to that to make it so that the changes can be made a little bit easier. But I will, but I'll definitely put something out. Like I said, if it's after 7 tonight, I won't do it. I don't want to infringe on people's nights, but it'll go out tomorrow because I have that to go out. We also have some clarification. I'll put it under end of school year. Some clarification, extended school year that I said to the community. Extended school year is a program for students who have disabilities. And what we learned today, there's a meeting going on right this second, actually, and I should have more information tonight, state level meeting. But what we learned today, the interpretation of that is supposed to be that any academic instruction for extended school year is to be done virtually. The only thing that was going to be done face-to-face is if you receive a related service, like a speech, occupational therapy, physical therapy. And that's a huge difference from what people thought it was, because, we're also trying to think about where are we going to hold these things and all of that. So what, and I see Andrea on there, what Andrea's got to do, she already reached out to all the families that qualified for extended school year. And, most of them declined the virtual option. This was last week when we thought it was all virtual. And then they came out with that change in the executive order that said that the related services could be provided in person. And now she may have to go back through and contact those parents again and say, hey, if I can get you speech in person, would you take it? And we'll have to do that. We normally do a cross contract with BOCES to provide that the summer speech and occupational therapy, physical therapy, and we'll see how that goes. The bigger question is going to be, we talked about this today in my superintendent meeting with BOCES. What if the BOCES reaches out to their service providers and their service providers don't feel comfortable providing in-person services to children, so they're out of the mix for the summer, and you don't have enough adults to service students? And that's what we're kind of wrestling through. That's part of that meeting that started at 4:00, and I got a text message, it's still going, trying to get all that kind of figured out. And so as soon as I know something, we'll put that out, but we'll have some kind of extended school year. That'll be that. And then the last thing is actual graduation. Brenda and Dan and Jen and myself were out on the football field today. We had a big heated meeting about this today at 1:00, and the interpretation of the executive order is that we can have socially distanced outdoor graduations as long as they don't have more than 150 people. So when I pushed the issue today, and got some clarification on that, it's 150 people per congregation area, which to me in my brain says, the football field itself inside the ropes is a congregation area. The high school parking lot's a congregation area. The concession stand area is a congregation area. The outside of the ropes of the football field is a congregation area. So what we're going to try to do, I talked to Jen Taft a little while ago about this, just so she could sleep on it, was just kind of come up with a couple of different plans, because we also have to remember, according to Bob Duffy today in our call, that it's very possible that by June 26th, we'll be into phase 4 of reopening. So if that was the case, more than 150 people would be allowed regardless. So we're going to create a tiered plan and make sure that we're going to be okay. But I think if you're talking to the public, and the news is coming tomorrow to talk to me about it, the 30,000 foot view is we're going to have an outdoor socially distanced in-person graduation is what you can tell people. June 26th at 6 p.m. is the target date and time for right now. With a rain date of June 27th the next day. Okay. The time is probably subject to change, and we'll see how it goes. We did a canvas today of the other school districts in the area, and there are more than several school districts that are not going to be allowing parents at their graduations. We're going to try. So we think we can pull off having all the students. And just so you know, that we checked with the student body, the students wanted to graduate together. The students did not want to have a split graduation. So it's their graduation. So we use that as a parameter, and that created 90 people just like that. And so now we're doing the math backwards to see what we can do using the congregation area definition. And so we're going to try to get at least 2 parents per graduate into the celebration if we can. Like school, Geneva is not allowing parents. Mid Lakes is not allowing parents. Canandaigua is going to do 6 graduations, and they're going to use Bristol Mountain instead. So there's a variety of things that are going on. And then some of the smaller schools are choosing to do 2 or 3 graduations. Smaller than us are going to try to do 2 or 3 graduations where they can bring 4 to 6 parents at each graduation. So, but we want to honor what the senior class would like. They'd like to graduate together. I'm not going to break into that. So we're going to work around it. And they've been through enough, and we'll make it happen. So I'm pretty excited. They've got it under control. Brenda and the gang and Jen and them, they know what to do, and we'll make it happen. So I was happy about that. I do think the rules will change again before June 26th. I really do think they will. So I just asked Jen to kind of keep her mind open in terms of come up with the worst case scenario, but plan, if the best thing can happen, what would we do with that, and make it happen. So we want until Wednesday to be able to come up with that final plan before we really give the details to the public and to the students and everything else. But that's the 30,000 foot view of that. And then also you're going to be receiving a document from me, hopefully tomorrow. It's going to have all of the end of the year celebrations. It's going to have the 8th grade graduations, the kindergarten graduation, the Chromebook drop-offs, the 5th grade moving up. We have dates and times and what we're doing for each thing. We just wanted to get it all together in one document, and that was finished, I hope, today. And then I'll get it to you tomorrow, and we're going to get it out to the community as well. Okay, so that's all I get. Correct. Yeah, and the way the order works, even if there will be no indoor graduations, period. No, and there were a couple of schools that tried to use their field houses, and they've already been shut down. So yeah, it could change, but I think at this point, we've got a good plan for outside. I'm okay with it. Yeah, and right, even if we had it inside, you wouldn't be able to do it anyway. So, well, you could. It would be all general admission. We'd all stand to the front like at a Pearl Jam concert, and we would just have graduation that way. It'd be okay. Yeah, I'd have a mosh pit there. Yeah.
Hey, students have wanted it for years on and off. They've come up with it
Yeah.
for years.
When I was at Hammondsport, I had about 60 or 70 graduates, and I used to give student council the option, and I would say within 48 hours of the event, they had to let me know because we had a stage made and all that stuff, so we had a place to do it, and then we had a right as administration to override that based on the weather or whatever else. But if they said that group wanted it outside, it was outside. If they wanted it inside, it was inside, and it went year to year. I gave the kids a choice. I'm always a kid.
That's good.
I'm a kid person. Yeah.
I know.
Yeah. Well, I think what'll be even nicer is going to be the new field when that's done. Because then you're also going to have the concession area and parking for some of our senior citizens and all that kind of thing. So yeah, we'll see what the future brings. Yeah, that's all I got.
Well, I think that can be a positive because
I think so.
like we said, we have it outside. I know. It'd be great.
Yeah. Yeah, and they didn't have an answer for that. We asked that directly, and they did not have an answer for it. I don't. Yeah. I wish. It was a pretty rough meeting today, which is okay. It needs to happen. And I think through all the anger and everything and the frustration and all that, I think we're some of the things, listening to the field maybe in the future, we had some great suggestions to the state about what they could do for the budget vote and that kind of thing. Because we tend to know how things work on the ground better than they do. And they've retreated into a couple of our ideas anyway, so it just hopefully never happens again. But if it does, it'll be hopefully more refined and it'll work better. Yeah, they are. Yeah. Oh, the counting and everything. Yeah, I mean, we're ready to go. We're ready. Yeah, I hear you. Yeah, me too. No, right? It's crazy.
All right, any other questions? All right, that brings us to the consent agenda. I need a motion to approve the consent agenda that is, I believe, H1A to H16, including the addendum H15A. Phyllis and Jeff, thank you. Are there any questions on that? All right, if not, all those in favor? Opposed? That motion is carried. I believe that brings us to our second public access to the board, but I don't see, can we see Corey? No.
I can't turn his,
Can he hear us?
Corey, can you hear us okay?
I can hear you. Yes, I can hear you.
Corey, can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear you. I can hear you.
Oh, maybe, yeah, he may not have a great connection either where he is.
Well, that's what okay.
Yeah.
All right, well, just checking in. All right, that brings us to our board member items. We did have an audit committee meeting on May 26th. I think we all got the notes on that. Do we have any questions or comments on that? No? All right. Our next meeting is scheduled for June 23rd if we need it. I think Shireen sent out something today or yesterday about the 4-county annual meeting is June 30th.
They changed that today, yeah, to June 30th.
Yes. Yeah, do we need to, did I read, did we need to register ourselves or let Shireen know?
Shireen said that she will register. You can register.
Oh, I didn't even, yep, sorry. Yes,
But Shireen can register you all.
okay. If you do register yourself, just let Shireen know, just so we know who's going. Or
I
zooming.
probably will. I'm
Yeah.
just
Okay,
planning to do it myself.
Okay.
Making her do it.
okay, all right, sounds good. I wanted Phyllis to kind of fill us in. That we got that email today too on the legislative committee. Just hot topic.
Right. Did you all get this?
We got something that gave an agenda. I saw an agenda. I got it. Did you get it?
Tomorrow at 11 o'clock, on Zoom with, one of the Rich Pumpkin's needs. So some of the things that they wanted from us, so I would like input from you because, this is me. This is for our board. They have 3 things here. What are the current struggles for your district? So if there's anything you want me to bring up.
How about? Yes. That's exactly.
For
That's
yeah,
exactly.
for
Once you
all
make a
schools.
decision, could we try to stick with it? And,
I know that was wrong, but I mean, literally.
no,
Yeah.
I'm with you on that.
Graduation stuff,
Yeah.
it's school.
Yeah.
How about give us some kind of a template for what school needs to look
Yeah.
like versus make the plan.
Right. And how about you understand that we have a lot of people working on what you command in the first place. And then when you change it 24 or 48 hours later, it's a lot of legwork for a lot of people.
Kind of what Chris said.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Right.
It's kind of an education for us.
Oh, no, you're absolutely right. Oh, it absolutely.
It
has.
Get stakeholders in the
Certainly would
room.
Never argue that.
Yeah. Right. Right.
That's the ball flat on the face, which
Right.
is what happens, but
Right.
What came from digital equity.
Yeah, internet access, a little pressure on our providers, Frontier, Spectrum.
Mm,
Yeah.
so very sad. Yes. 7 hours on Friday. My husband was 7 hours.
Yeah.
Frontier, Apple, and Yahoo.
it affects all this. It's a question. Will there be some form of assistance for all of this?
I know.
Rumor has it that FEMA has some aid for all your COVID purchases. I know Anna's been having to buy an awful lot of things. Mask,
Yeah.
cleaner,
Things that were
hand sanitizer, all this stuff.
mandatory, yes.
Any type of financial.
You asked, Phyllis. There you go.
Okay, next one. Concerns, challenges for fall reopening. Yeah.
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 Well, it happened.
We just need a template. If we just had a template, just tell us just give us the parameters. We'll make it work. You know, that's it.
They don't even know.
No, they don't even.
Let common sense prevail.
One thing I've heard, even throughout the community.
I know. If we could remind them of that.
One thing I've heard, even a lot of folks said. No, and it's a valid question, and the question is if we go to phase 4, then why are they saying that when we reopen school, we have to have masks and everything else? Phase 4 is supposedly we're back to normal. I think that's a valid question.
Very valid.
It is.
It's supposed to come back, I get it, but if you're at phase 4.
It's a very
you're able
legitimate
to go to
question.
Right.
Sporting events and everything else, and again, allegedly we're back to normal. Why is that? Why is it kind of a double standard? You know what I'm saying? Cost of
Well, that and the fact that,
Right.
that and the fact that they want better already so many less kids per class.
Right, how are we supposed to do
And
that?
she's glad, yeah.
So, yeah. And
Yeah.
again, I've heard that at Rushco for the
No,
last 3
that's
Saturdays.
very
Oh, yeah.
legitimate. It's very legitimate.
So I know that's a community. And just when will we know? We've had people come up to you.
September
I hang out at
1st.
Rushco a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
but
with their
seriously,
track
hey,
record, it'll
hey,
be
when are we
September
gonna know
1st.
so I can try and arrange daycare?
Right.
For my kids going
Right.
every other day, how I'm supposed to be back to work every day. So I know that's.
Yep.
Sorry to overlook.
No, that's it.
I'm
She
just writing
wants
all
to be.
down. More questions.
Yeah, she wants, she wants feedback.
Say the kid, you can answer. Wow. I want to earn that brownie back.
All right, last one is, for what do you want state leadership to advocate?
For different state.
Yep, you tell Rich maybe we don't want him anymore. We want different state leadership. What do you want your representatives, basically what they're asking, what do you want your representatives?
All of the above. No, just common sense is all I'm asking.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think it does go back to the first, advocate for funding.
It does, yeah,
Advocate for
yeah.
not a.
Every
bad
mandate
law
should
from
have
state
funding
aid.
behind it, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
And they know this, I mean.
They do know it, but he's asking us to,
School
yeah.
budget by 10, 15%. Schools aren't built.
Right. Yeah.
Okay, here, just with everything that's going on and, the talk of, some states wanting to do fundings and stuff like that. The other topic is, not having SROs. So, is that a concern for us?
It wouldn't be a large concern for us. It'd be more of a concern for the BOCES, for sure. I was talking to Kevin, Sheriff Henderson about that not too long ago. And it's, I would like to have our school resource officer, but BOCES needs to have a school resource officer. So I would not be in favor of kind of defunding that, especially with the response time that we would get here. He was telling me it would be probably between 20 to 25 minutes to have police response here if we had a true emergency.
I was 45 minutes.
You were, yeah.
Closest car.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But still.
Typically in the summer, our SRO is still around. We had a emergency, but there was a disturbance. Was not a protest. That's where he was. Oh, yeah, no, absolutely. But they only had 2 cars in the area. One was going on somewhere else.
Yeah.
So Chris doesn't direct that response time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially because a lot of schools come here.
Right. So it'd be tough to defund that.
That's all,
Yeah.
Right.
I think all these.
Mhm.
Oh, yeah, we would not want, that
No.
would not be good.
All right, and the last one is, any additional thoughts? Anything. As far as, them and the.
Yeah, not to steal the show, but I truly believe, like, do the right thing. It's had nothing to do with this.
Keep the kids in mind and also, keep the mental health issues in mind of students, staff, faculty, Right, yes. And that meeting is tomorrow?
Tomorrow at 11 o'clock.
But they don't want other people to go, they're just the legislature. I know they always send it, but it's always.
Well, they sent it, but you weren't.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm good with not, but I just want to make sure, okay. Well, thank you for doing that. You don't have to don't have to bake for them. They're just-
No, because I'll be sitting
That's
like-
right, Jeff, she had them made, but.
I don't need to know that. They're just.
They're just here. Okay.
And just for the record, Corey can hear us.
Oh, good, okay.
Yeah.
I was like, Corey.
He can hear us.
are you there?
His video's not working correctly. He
Okay,
can definitely hear us. He just.
okay, good,
Yeah.
I'm glad.
Okay, and I will try to afterwards, send an email to all of you and. thank
Good.
you, let you know, try to
Oh,
update
that's
on what was said.
Chris, you sent us an email about there was 2 meetings that if we wanted to, I know. Wait, too many. Am I making that up? Did you send us 2?
No.
There was an email about 2 meetings if we wanted to join,
Yeah,
and I can't
there were
remember.
2 meetings for 4 counties. One is,
No, those the 4 count. No, it's the 4 count.
Oh, it was the
Yeah.
4
yeah,
count,
one
okay.
one is, the second one is the
Okay.
annual meeting, but the first one is.
Yeah, get acquainted.
Yes, get acquainted,
Yep.
which, we're not, I mean, there's nobody else from us, so there's, yeah,
Right.
Okay.
Yep, that was it.
okay, sorry, that was it. Okay. Thank you, Phyllis, for doing that, I appreciate it. I'm gonna skip 4, and I'm gonna tell you, number 5. Sorry, Shereen, you can pipe in anytime. 'Cause I'm just gonna tell you that the reorg meeting is July 13th. If anybody knows that there's a problem with that date, that is a Monday, yes?
No, I think we'll be right. We should be right here. Then I
We're
think.
hoping we're gonna be right here,
Yeah.
because we have a lot on that agenda. So barring anything changing, we're hoping we're gonna be right here.
No Bills game, Jeff. It's too early for that, so we'll be okay
He's
there.
getting out his calendar.
For some reason, it sounds
Is that a bad?
like I'm gonna be here. I might not.
Okay, well, let us know sooner rather. Oh, okay. So it wouldn't matter if we had it the 14th then probably either. Okay, okay. All right, well, let us, text me when you know. Yeah, that's, or yeah, maybe you could Zoom.
Yeah, anyone would have better internet than mine.
I'm with you on that. I'm with you. Phyllis is gonna fight for us all on that one.
That's right.
All right.
So I can't so move.
No, you can't. It's very awkward, and Cindy and I, we don't even like it to be on there. Shireen puts it on there. You can talk to Shireen if you have any suggestions, ideas, whatever. I don't really want to talk about it in public because it's just weird. So. Just throwing it out there.
If you're interested, and
Yes,
anybody
yes,
else
yes.
is running for president
Exactly.
or vice president,
Don't make it weird.
contact Shereen.
Yes, contact Shireen.
Otherwise, we'll just have, that rubber stamp vote.
Yeah, no, and that's not, we're just telling you, it's, yeah, no, it's,
But she's just telling us.
It's
that they
just
are
in
still
the-
interested in
by absentee
staying.
ballot.
the backstory is one year it was very awkward.
Primaries are not.
It was very awkward, so if there's someone out there that talk about it ahead of time, because it's just an awkward thing, so, yeah. So, are there any other, board member items? Any other?
I was glad that you were involved in that document. I had fun making my sign.
Oh, good.
And doing it up and doing the little bag.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you have a date for those? Do you know
Thursday.
when They're going out Thursday?
Yep. You'll get that in your document tomorrow. This Thursday, they're gonna start going out because Thursday is the night when Jen will put the award stuff on the internet because they taped all the stuff last week and they'll all start getting released on Thursday. So that's when we're gonna put the signs out.
When I brought mine up, there was a bunch of people bringing them up, and it looked, they were all so cute.
Oh, I
Yeah.
saw
And it looked
Carrie
like
dropped
so many
hers off,
people
yeah.
had A lot of fun.
Yeah. That's
So are
great.
they going on Baldwin Road?
Yes.
Is that's the,
Yep.
okay. They,
And
yeah.
where is she posting the awards?
Baldwin, the awards will be on Schoology for here, and then we'll have them on a link to our website and everything else to put that, so everybody can see it. Yeah, yep.
Oh, so it's not a live thing?
It's not a live thing, no,
Okay.
no. And that, again, we went through the students for that, asked them how they wanted to receive their awards, and they told us how they wanted to do it, so we did it. So they said they wanted to get them more virtual than they did. They didn't want us coming door to door and all that kind of stuff. We gave them 8 million options. That's what they said.
You make people so early, and you gotta get out of bed.
Yeah, right.
Be there at 8 AM, right?
So I mean, just to be clear, these awards would be the ones that we would do by invitation only. We would have that night with the dinner and everything else. So it's not
Right.
something we would typically broadcast anyway. So it's more something that would happen for the award winners as it is. So just to clarify.
But they're always on the graduation.
Yeah, they'll be on the program, correct, and as they will be this time. Yep, none of that'll change.
So when did they do the bag now?
When do they?
The adopt.
Oh,
Yeah,
the signs are Thursday. Do we know when the bags
It'll be
are?
on your thing tomorrow.
well, we were talking about if it maybe, we think it maybe at the rehearsal. We could put their graduation rehearsal.
Yeah.
We weren't gonna make a separate thing, or maybe when they come to turn in their 12 list.
Yeah.
And do we know that all seniors got?
Oh, 100%.
Okay.
Yeah, they're all covered. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And the food link.
Yep. Oh, so Food Link is this Thursday. We're really happy to have gotten that partnership over Canandaigua and Geneva, actually. So this is the perishable fresh food, frozen meat, fresh dairy, fresh produce. I have a meeting tomorrow. They're bringing 2 semi trucks. One's refrigerated, one is not. So they're going to dump everything from the non-refrigerated truck. We're going to collect it all by pallet, 900 pounds worth of food. We're going to make sure we'll refrigerate what we need to because all the meat's coming frozen. And then I've got 14 volunteers for Thursday's distribution, open to anybody in Yates and Ontario counties. And they just pull up, we give them 3 big boxes full of food, and they drive off. And then Carla wanted to help out. So she's going to volunteer, but then she's also making suggested recipes based on the ingredients that people are going to get.
That's
So
great.
yeah, 2 to 4 p.m. So it'll take place. We did it this way, right after the breakfast, lunch, pickup, drop off ends, and then right before the dinner. Yeah, so we'll do it right in the middle, and hopefully we'll be able to serve the 300 families that it's designed for. We've got dates in July and August. We got the dates, but I'm going to hold on to those for public consumption only because, no pun intended, only because I want to get through this first date, make sure it works, and then we'll work on any kinks, and then we'll publicize the dates for July and August.
So you have enough volunteers for Thursday?
We do have enough. I have enough volunteers for the food link. I didn't ask for volunteers yet for dinner. I forgot. I was busy, very busy today. So I didn't ask about that. So we need 2 people for tomorrow, and I need 2 people for Thursday.
Tomorrow's better for me.
I can do
Tomorrow's
Thursday.
Okay.
Okay, so we'll use. Okay, Sue
Tuesday?
and Cindy for Thursday, and Phyllis and Sheila for
Did you hear that, Noreen?
Tuesday. All right.
And then Shireen, should we tell you the 2 dates for graduation if we can volunteer? Do you want to take a list or you want to?
For food link?
No, for graduation.
So graduation, we're only
Did
going to
you ask
no,
for
not
volunteers?
not yet for grad, nothing for graduation yet.
Oh.
Yeah.
No, I read that as well.
Yeah. So
No, not to come.
Yeah.
But to help, I thought was
We did get an email about that.
oh, for that, yeah. Hold off on that for right now because we got to finish a new plan. So
Just so you know.
Yeah. 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 Feel free to come. Yeah. The more the merrier. That's a lot of food. So.
You need extra help on Thursday, do you think?
I don't at this point, but if you want to come up, I mean, we have to have people who are going to keep track of how many senior citizens we're serving. We have paperwork to do. It's a different process. So if you want to come up, I'll put you to work. Not about that. So we have to keep statistics so that we can keep our distribution going. So. That's right, yeah. We have
Bring your
to,
calculator.
we got to
Phil.
submit a Google form at the end.
Oh,
It's high
I
tech.
like that. I
That's right,
like
yeah.
that. That's not my thing. All right. Yes. Yep. Yep.
Yeah, I can't speak to every teaching staff, but I gotta tell you, like right now, my 6-year-old with Mrs. Zimmerman is doing a bedtime, so it's like she's been doing this. Just
Yeah.
the way that the teaching, a lot of teachers, they've been going above and beyond.
Yeah.
It's been beyond any of our wildest dreams. Phenomenal. Just to see the community really rally behind, hoping that with positive budget goes.
I hope.
I really do. And all the teachers really going above and beyond. Your teachers, just top notch, rock stars.
Yeah, no, thank you. They do great work, and it's interesting. Like in food service, for example, and those of you who have volunteered, it's like that core group, they've been through a lot together, and they love being here at work doing what they're doing, and that it shows. I mean, and Dan and his guys, Brenda and her team, it's been and then and the teachers too. I mean, it's, as you know, it's not been easy. If you have kids at home, it's not been easy, and on every single facet of this whole thing, it's not been easy. And I think they did the best they can. Everybody has, and I just hope that if we have to do it again in the fall, the digital equity is a huge piece of getting quality internet access to all families. I couldn't express that more. I mean, it's people. It's gone across socioeconomic boundaries. People who can easily afford internet still can't get on the internet, right? And that's a problem. So we just need to. That's one huge thing that if we have to continue this, has got to be fixed. Has got to, you know. No.
Oh, can we write that down on that list? I agree with it.
No, it's everywhere.
Don't reimagine it. We got a great thing here.
Yeah.
This is not what's best.
No.
Right. Right. I'm glad you said that. Right. Oh, I know. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Like you said, goes beyond a lot of social stuff. They are now.
Oh, well, yes.
Society's in trouble if we're sending people out
Yeah.
to the workforce and really interact.
Yeah, agreed.
Again, going back to that, people that aren't in education. I mean, if the state of New York could put out a survey, I think the time parents would be more than happy.
Mm-hmm. Yes, they would.
Not because,
Right.
because, a lot of us, we're not set up.
Well, they're working their jobs too.
Yeah.
We're working from
Yes.
home. Seen so many people say, I am not a teacher for a reason.
Right, yeah.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah, but thank you though, and I do relay that message to our employees that they know that they know the board is very appreciative of what they're doing. Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
To take a crappy situation, really make it true.
Yeah.
Yes.
For sure.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Maybe when we all come back together, we can
Yeah,
honor
I'd
them
love
and
to
say,
do
but thank
something.
you, Chad, for bringing that up, honestly.
And
Yeah.
Shireen just wanted us to know that there are no comments from the public on our YouTube channel. Okay.
Oh, okay,
So just,
good to know.
I'm just
Thank
putting that.
you.
I'm just putting that in the record. That's all.
I'm glad, yeah,
Be
I'm glad.
interested to go home and see if there's any views.
I know, right? Yeah. I don't know about that. Yeah.
We'll tell them to stay tuned for our July meeting.
Awesome.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting.
Well, and people will watch the replay, because it's
Right.
riveting,
Right.
riveting entertainment. That's right.
I mean, I'm gonna go watch it. I'm gonna break down the film. I'm gonna see what we could have done.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Exactly. All right, give us pointers.
Yeah.
Okay, if there's nothing else for, board member comments. Thank you. Oh, we're not, I moved that we enter executive session to discuss the employment history of a particular people. Of
particular people.
Of particular
I have a
people.
couple.
Sorry, yeah. Okay. Jeff who seconded it?
Okay, so for people watching on YouTube, we're going to take about a 2 or 3 minute break because I need to break off the live stream and move away from the people who are in on the Zoom that don't belong in executive session. So thank you for tuning in tonight, and we'll see you again in July unless I decide to put something out a little bit sooner, which I might, leading up to graduation. Thank you very much. Have a great night.